Hey guys, welcome to my process. So this week I'm going to do this a little differently because of something that kind of caught me off guard. Somebody very close to me said that since I'd been doing these videos, they had assumed that I had changed into some hyper religious spiritual person that is essentially unsafe to go to if they don't feel like they're in the same place. And I just want to say right now, for the record, that I am so far from that place, which is the exact reason why I'm doing these videos. Because I'm processing the same things that I'm hoping that you're processing with me through these videos. For example, this is my process right now. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes I'm at a table, sometimes I'm at a desk. Today, I'm in my room on the floor with a journal and Bible spread out and my OCD tendencies with my little Bible verses. So basically what's happening here is what I do almost every week. Sometimes I have something to share with you guys that is so right off the cuff that all I have to do is say a little prayer and hit record. Other times I have more of an idea of a theme that I want to talk about, and I'll just pray through it before I hit record. And then some weeks, like this week, I have more of a process because I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about. Now, the cool thing is that God always comes through. There's this verse that I read out of Exodus just to encourage myself every week, and it's when God is talking to Moses, and Moses did not want to go speak for God. He was terrified. And Exodus 4:11-12 is God rebuking Moses, saying, like, what you talking about? You're gonna do it because you have me with you, basically. So what the verse says is, the Lord said to him, who gave man his mouth? Who makes him deaf or mute? Who gives him sight or makes him blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will help you speak, and I will teach you what to say. Now he doesn't say, now go and I will always give you exactly what to say. You won't have to put any work in. No, he says, go and I will help you. I will teach you what to say. Which means we have to put some effort in. It does take some discipline to wrestle with some hard things sometimes. Moses was definitely going through something really tough, and God said, you know what? You don't have to be afraid of anything I've called you to do, but it will be difficult. I guarantee you're going to have some struggles. So I just want to say that, guys, first of all, in my process, sometimes I just have to read that verse and remind myself that God's going to give me the words to say. And other times, when I really have no idea and the week seems not to have had this profound lesson in it, then I have to go to God and I have to take this step of faith that it's going to take some working through. Now, what I really wanted to say more than anything is that most of these weeks that I am not sure what I'm supposed to tell you guys, it ends up being because I'm wrestling with the exact things that most of you think I'm not wrestling with, if that makes any sense. So for example, this person who said that they thought of me, or they assumed something of me because I'm doing these videos. They assumed that I was in this place beyond needing help anymore, or because I love Jesus, that just means that I've reached this place of perfection and like this weird sense of like better than you. But to be honest, what I struggle with most is not feeling like I should be doing these at all. Like, why me? And I struggle with the things that I'm trying to help you guys with. So I'm in no place the person to be giving advice, and yet God is using me anyway. So I just want to let that encourage you guys. When I am journaling, I will just be really honest. I'll be really honest with God. I'll be really honest with my own thoughts, and God forbid anyone get a hold of these journals because dang, that stuff is intimate. But I try to be as vulnerable with you guys. So just in case you're wondering, these videos are coming from a place of pain and wrestling and struggle and imperfection to such a degree that I'm like, God, I need to be with you. I need you because I can't do it myself. So man, it really floored me when this person said that, because I had confessed something to her that suddenly made her feel safe, when before she had thought that I had come to this place where I was no longer safe to open up to. And granted, I hadn't seen her in a lot of time. A lot of time, and we haven't connected in the way that we got to in a long time. So with time and distance, you see these giant changes in people sometimes, where you may have this perception of them that is absolutely not reality, and you just need to connect with them in order to really grasp the truth. No one is perfect, and the people who come across as having it all together are probably some that are struggling the most or are working at those things the most. There is a lot of inauthenticity in Christian ministry, which I am so heartbroken over. But the people who are authentic, I think you can tell. And those are the people that God has brought to their knees more often than not, because he's trusting them with such a responsibility that they have to go through some serious pain in order to relate. So guys, I am nowhere near perfect. I will continue to do these knowing that that means I will most likely face a lot more struggles. But God is also crafting something really, really, really beautiful in me, through me, all these amazing privileges through this responsibility. So, man, okay, one last thought. I'm going to just let you into a little bit more of my personal life, personal struggle, I guess. Let's finish with this confession, okay? So this little snippet of my journal was basically just me being honest with God, and that's how he really wants us to be with him. It's like, you tell him what you're frustrated with. Tell him when you're mad at him. Tell him when you don't believe that he's good. Tell him when you're having trouble trusting him. And he comforts. He's still there. I was really struggling this week, to be completely honest, like I always want to be. Easier said than done sometimes, but I was really struggling this week with a promise God gave me about where kind of God was taking me. And one of the desires of my heart is to have a husband and experience that. It just seems so out of reach, and I'm not desperate for it. That desire doesn't go away just because you're not desperately trying to make it happen on your own. So when you're surrendering something to God, that doesn't mean you're not going to wrestle with the desire for it or the longing for it. I gave that to God I've given it to him before then, but last year I asked God a question. It was right before my first Cause Fitness retreat, which, side note, the second annual Cause Fitness retreat is coming up, and I just posted information about that, so go check that out. But sorry, back to this regularly scheduled programming. So last year, right before my Thailand retreat, I was actually at the gym, and I just remember asking God so clearly all these questions about, God, where is my husband? Like, when do I meet this guy? When do I have that experience? And then it just dawned on me, what if that wasn't God's will for my life? What if I have not actually surrendered that desire to God and his will? And it's a good thing, but it may not be his will for me. I have to give that to him and trust that he has the best for me, whether that includes getting married or not. So that hit me so hard, and I said, God, wow, I don't even know if this is something you want for me or if it's just something I want for myself. So do you even want me to be married? Is that your will for me? Is that your desire? Because I want my heart to be in line with his. And wow, I'm so not great at that. It's a daily surrender. I just remember clearly hearing this inaudible voice, and it was, yes, but I'm going to take you on an adventure first. And I got so excited. I was thinking, man, I leave for Thailand, and I think it was about a week away at that point. It's like, man, I'm going to Thailand. That's got to be the adventure, right? And I'll either meet somebody there or come back and meet him immediately afterwards, but that's got to be the adventure he's talking about, right? But a year later, my life has looked like nothing but unpredictable, irregular occurrences, crazy shifts that I didn't plan or think about at all, and just learning how to trust God in all those unknowns. And so I wrote in this journal, I said, God, you said you're taking me on an adventure. Our definitions of adventure must be different because Thailand was an adventure, but that was a year ago. Whatever I'm experiencing now, it's unpredictable. I have irregular income. I have no real plans like I used to have beyond my next retreat, which I'm so excited about. And still, I have no idea if this is the direction you want me to go in. Everything has just felt like this giant question mark in my life. So it's literally been a day-to-day like, okay, what now, God? Kind of crazy because this is the girl that used to have a goal and a timeline for everything, and I accomplished everything I set my mind to. And then I had this experience with God where he basically was saying, you know what? I need you to exchange your plans for mine and trust me because mine are better. And I did that, and suddenly everything is rocky and not everything is perfect. In fact, nothing is perfect, and things feel more unpredictable and crazy than ever before. But at the same time, I have a lot of peace. So I'm walking through this day to day, and I'm writing this in my journal, and I said, you know what? Every dream or desire I have requires resources that I don't have. So I can't make it happen on my own. This does not define adventure for me. That was the end of the sentence, and I just had this feeling that I couldn't shake, that I needed to look up the definition of adventure. And sometimes God just speaks through those compulsions, those feelings that you can't shake, and you just have to go with it. So I looked up the definition of adventure. The verb definition is to engage in hazardous and exciting activity, especially the exploration of unknown territory. And I just, wow, that's exactly what my life is right now, and what I'm sure many of your lives are right now too. Man, it's a constant struggle to trust God, that he knows what's good. He has a plan. But when that happens, I journal. When that happens, I pray. When that happens, I go to the word and ask God to show me again what his promises are. And he comes through every time. So guys, if nothing else, I hope this video encourages you. I struggle constantly. I don't want your pity, but I do want you to know that in whatever you're going through, although our situations are different, the feelings and emotions are the same, and I can most likely relate because, man, this has been one wild ride. But even if I'm frustrated, even when I'm frankly mad at God because I can't be him, and he knows more than I know, and he's not letting me in on the big secret, even when that happens, he's still good. And it's not about me. It's just about taking steps of faith and trusting him and remembering his promises and replacing words of pain and negativity and essentially death with words of positivity and truth and life. It's about encouragement. I'm doing it. I'm walking it out. I'm living it out. I am so blessed to be able to talk to you guys every week. Every week, I just hope it's helpful. I hope it's encouraging. And I hope that it moves you closer to grace, moves you closer to truth. And I hope it moves you closer to the author and perfecter of your faith. You guys, I'm always struggling with you, right alongside you. We're in this together. Have an awesome week, and I'll see you next time. If you watched all the way to the end of this video, maybe watch another one of these videos and hopefully get some more insight into what these typically look like instead of my crazy process and, yeah, really shaky camera skills or lack thereof. Just wanted to say thank you.